away from first. Pulling in the second with an RBI double is Declan Brown. So 1-1 Lefties on that rigging double to the wall in left center. I guess a hit and run on, and worked out well for the Dudes. Yeah, Brown continues his hot hitting after getting 2 base hits yesterday. Now they'll bring up Prater. He went down in strikes, his only at bat in the second. Brown getting a huge lead out there at second as that one's popped up foul down the right field line and over and beyond the grandstands. Oh, goodness. There's a group of 4 youngsters at the very top row of the grandstands. I mean, there's a wall behind them. Like, they're not in jeopardy of falling. It's just interesting to see. Huge lead at second from Browns. That ball's ripped and caught by Alsop at third. Athletic play from Owen Alsop. We saw him make a play similar to that last night. Just going over to his right and snaring a ball that could have been extra bases. With 1 out, it brings up Indy Anderson. He went down looking on strikes, his only at bat. Righty on lefty. That one's high, 1-0. And my supervisor, Jacob Thrush, goes, Indy Anderson, that's a cool name. It is a pretty cool name. Off the hands, lined into the party deck. Oh, there's an older gentleman coming up with a souvenir. Haven't seen. Well, he tossed it back onto the field. And now the third base umpire calls time. Oh, that's not what you do. That's not what you do. Why not just keep the baseball? I mean, you got to have like a kid or grandkids or something. That's a rookie move. Don't ever do that. If you get a baseball and you don't want it, find a kid to give it to. Here's the 1-1. Off the hands, foul up the first base line. So 1-2 the count now to Indy Anderson. Declan Brown at second after doubling home Bowen. Casson Matson working his 4th inning in the start. Normal Dudes pitcher being given to the Lefties tonight. The Dudes have got some dudes that they need to get innings out of. Oh, and the Straight View Credit Union people who reserve the party deck are getting a nice round of applause. Somebody's got to tell them, though, when you get a foul ball, give it to a kid. What's going on here? Oh, it looks like time was called. Owen's going to get some sunglasses. Yeah, you need sunglasses for those dusk hours playing third and left field. It's just all sorts of trouble trying to deal with that sun. So 1-2 the count. 1-1 is our score in the top of the 4th. Anderson digs back in. Matson's ready. And he spins around. And they have Brown in a rundown. They give it to Alsop now. He's going to run him back. Throw over to Kim, and Kim's able to apply the tag. Well, we saw 2 guys also get picked off yesterday, 1 for each team, and so some of the troubled base running continues. So 1-5-6 on that put out. And that really changes the complexion of this inning. So Matson, well, he still works out the stretch, but a lot more comfortable for him. Here's the 1-2. That one's hit hard, but foul down the first base line. Now on this Saturday night, a good group of young families and youngsters taking in some summer collegiate baseball at Civic Field. Here's the 1-2 again. Curveball down and in, 2-2. It's got to be one heck of an adventure, too, for Ott behind the plate. Back-to-back nights catching guys that he only had about 30 minutes to get acquainted with. Outside, 3-2. And again, last night, Taj Arona given to the Lefties just for the night from the Dudes. Ended up crossing him up 3 times. I remember on 1 or 2 occasions Ott went out to talk to him after what looked like he got crossed up. Soft lined it down the left field line. Custer on the run. He dives! Did he get it? Yes! Cam Custer makes the catch in fair territory. Well, with some of the ugly errors we've seen the past couple nights, we have seen some web gems. There's another one right there. Mr. Cam Custer ending the 4th inning in style. A run does come across, though, for the Dudes on the double from Declan Brown. A run, a couple hits, nobody left for Redmond. 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for our YouTube audience who may just be tuning in, we apologize for any technical issues. So we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 is our score. It'll be the 9th man, Royce Tamura, followed by the leadoff guy, Kyle Becker, and MJ Kim for the lefties. Ryan White will get back to work, his 4th inning getting the start. Working out of the stretch, Tamura shows bunt. He bunts in front of the plate. The catcher, Brown, is out, off with the mask, and in time at first. Good athletic play from Brown and a strong throw to first. So he retires Tamura, who's playing in his 2nd game as a lefty. As Kyle Becker will settle into the box, he walked to lead off the game, eventually came around to score. The lefties got the bases loaded with nobody out, only plated 1 despite having 2 walks and 2 hit batters issued to them. Down and away, 1-0. Casson Matson pitching for the lefties tonight, a normal Dudes pitcher. Second night in a row that the lefties and Dudes have come to that agreement. As Becker lifts that one high in the air to right. It's not deep. Alex Hartnett, well, he said he had it, and then he had to keep kind of tumbling in to make the catch. Fighting a strong wind going right to left at Civic Field. Quickly 2 away as MJ Kim will bat. Hit by a pitch in the 1st, struck out looking in the 2nd. And just that last inning, a single from Hagen Bowen and a double from Declan Brown on a hit and run as the first pitch is at the knees for a strike. Ended up tying the game for the Dudes. So that's where we stand, everybody, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. That curveball is ripped deep but foul down the left field line over towards that power grid. That ball really traveled the way the wind's taking it. Not near my car, though. Not too concerned about that. This time I have an army of cars in front of me. A couple taller ones, too, just in case. Here's the 2-1, outside 3-1. Beg your pardon, 2-1, everybody. Here it is from Wyke. That one's off the hands, over the 3rd. Hansen stays down on it. He's able to get Kim by a step at first. So 1-2-3 go the lefties in their half of the 4th. Our score remains at 1 as we head on to the 5th, everybody. We're going to come back just a little bit early, everybody, for the top of the fifth in this 1-1 game. This inning is brought to you by Leets. Leets Farm Supply and Equipment Sales is the Peninsula's premier family-owned farm supply and equipment dealership, where we service what we sell. Shop local, support local. Shop Leets Farm Supply. Kai Kamada will take over on the mound for the Lefties. Came into town just yesterday. Kai from Mililani, Hawaii, pitcher for Pierce College. Yeah, a good, friendly young man. When I met him yesterday, we were able to talk a little bit about grew up surfing. Very comfortable going on those 7 to 10 foot waves. Anything higher than that, he said that's not quite his cup of tea. He'll face the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Reed Brock, Alex Hartnett. Some may know him as Michael Scott. I know Point Streak does. And Tanner Hansen. Kamada out of the windup. Not a big guy. And that pitch missed high, I guess. Looked pretty good to me. We'll see how he works with Halen not behind the plate. Another guy that Halen has to get up to speed with quickly. I guess that was high again. Okay. 2 close pitches. Not going the way of Kamada. 3-0 the count. I also need to take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. John Whitehead. So that's at the knees, 3-1 the count. Whitehead was able to win the competition between the 3rd and 4th innings to be the Lefties' leadoff hitter tomorrow. John Whitehead will take on top 5 summer collegiate competition. Well, Reed Brock will draw a walk. That brings up Alex Hartnett, who popped out to short his only at-bat. I wonder how John's going to prepare for his at-bat. Now, granted, I was not in any position to see the game as that one's popped up down the left field line. Alsop on the run. Custer comes in, and Cam will make the grab in fair territory right on top of the left field foul line. And so he'll bat for the Lefties, John will, and he'll face some dude's pitcher. Obviously, I have no idea who it is, as Tanner Hansen will dig in. Reed Brock remaining at first with a short lead. Like, I wonder, is he going to go up there and take a strike? Is he going to swing at the first pitch? Outside 1-0. Our public address announcer says maybe he'll swing out of his shoes. He says that's what he would do. But our public address announcer also says he would need a pinch runner. Check on the runner at first, not in time, as Brock goes in standing up. Yeah, now you got to wonder, if John Whitehead ends up hitting the ball, what kind of wheels does he have going to first? On the outside corner, 1-1. Well, that's what's interesting. I know nothing about this guy. Like, I don't know how old he is. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. Another throw over, not in time. I don't know if I assume he played the game before, but I'm not sure whether it was in high school, whether it was in college. Was he an all-conference player? 1 run from Kamada, sprayed foul over towards the playground across the street. Our public address announcer has quite a bit to say. I'm a fan of it. Granted, though, if I start saying everything he said, though, then it would turn into his broadcast. Here's the 1-2 with 1 out. Inside, what happened there? Did it get a piece? I guess it got a piece of the bat of Hansen. I guess right off the knob. You hate it when you have that happen to you. It's all about seeing the ball and getting the hands out of the way. The Lefties will look to turn 2. 1-1 with 1 out in the 5th. That 1-2 is right there at the knees for a called strike 3. Ott snaps a throw down the first, nowhere near in time to get Brock. I assume Hansen was looking curveball because that heater was right there. That'll bring up Mason Greenwald. He singled back in the 3rd. That was the first hit for either side. The second baseman, Tamura, still playing way over to pull for the righty. Big swing and a miss. Kai took something off of that. Short lead at first from Brock. And another throw over. I mean, I don't know what kind of book they have on him. Barrett's look over to the dugout, giving the I don't know what's going on side. I mean, now he's inching off a little further, but he's barely 2 steps off the bag. Swing and a miss from Gronwald. Oh, non-league play, summer ball. You gotta love it. Here's the 0-2. The runner goes. The curveball is in there for a called strike 3. Gronwald not happy with it. Big, slow bender from Kai Kamada. He picks out a couple punch-outs in his first outing on the mound for the Lefties. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll see if Port Angeles can get the bats moving. We'll come back just a little bit early, everybody, for the bottom of the 5th. Well, there'll be a new pitcher for the Dudes. Hiro Tokiwa, the 6'1", 180-pound lefty out of out of Tokyo, Japan, will take over on the mound. He'll face Chase Taylor, Cam Custer, and Owen Alsop. So both teams now going to their bullpens. And a little geographic history. Port Angeles, we know, has no shortage of really nice tourist destinations. Today I'll talk about the Edda's Hook, colloquially called the Spit. I've heard Sandy and Lee use that term a handful of times. It's a sand spit that houses the local United States Coast Guard station. It's a really nice spot to view both the Port Angeles Harbor and the Olympic National Park foothill mountains in the distance. That's looking to the south. Then you can turn north to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. If it isn't too foggy, well, you can see the faraway distant land of Canada. The sea glass and marble rocks, they're for sure worth checking out. I haven't paid enough attention to notice any of these the few times I've visited out there, but sea lions and orca whales are common sights. Depending on the day, especially on Saturdays, you see quite a few cruise lines go past, the Caribbean being one of them. Every time we see it, Sandy talks about how much she wants to go on it. Can't blame her. Sounds pretty nice. First pitch is on the outside corner to Chase Taylor, coming from Hiro Tokiwa. Haven't seen a whole lot of left-handed pitchers at all, whether from opposition or lefties, guys. Another slow bender on the outside corner. Some of the slower breaking balls we've seen from anybody all season long. The third game that Heroes pitched in this season. Just outside with a fastball. Well, at least listed here on point streak, he's gone a third of an inning, 2 walks, and 11 hits. And a lot of runs. Off the end of the bat, popped up, right side of the infield. Brock says he has it, and he puts it away, right by the usual second base position. And the last time that Tokiwa pitched was June 19th. Well, that's going to lower his ERA quite a bit. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with this one. I mean, in one outing, he allowed 10 earned runs on 10 hits, or on 9 hits, and was not able to get an out. Something must have gone wrong with that point streak stuff. That just sounds impossible. Foul ball from Cam Custer. Like, he doesn't seem like a guy who would get lit up like that. Spun over the first, off the glove of Anderson. It kicks in the foul territory, and Custer's going to be safe. Tokiwa got there to cover late. The throw ended up hitting off of Custer. So an error on the first baseman, Anderson.
From West Texas A&M University,
well, we're up to 2 errors. Yeah, up to 2 errors for the Dudes. The Lefties have kept things pretty clean as of right now. No, and that one too. Even not getting the out, that'll lower Heroes' ERA even more. Slide step. Also swings to the first pitch. It's not deep. Out to the. Oh, I thought it was going to go even deeper than that. The second baseman Brock makes the catch at the lip of the infield dirt. Goodness, that fooled me. So Owens now 0 for 3. And that brings up Mayer. A walk in the first, a strikeout in the third. Going back to the Edda's hook as well. They have a large population of stray cats. Now, they are known for being on the skittish side, but a lot of people go out there and feed them, and then they're able to make some friends with the cats. And there goes Custer from first, and nobody's covering second, so a stolen base for Cam. A delayed stolen base. 5th stolen base of the season for him. And that could be big. Tie game at 1. A base hit should score him. Cam runs well. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit high in the air to right center. Bowen is over into the alleyway. Hartnett is there, and it's going to be Alex Hartnett making the two-handed grab. Also, the Lefties not able to get the bats going as of right now. Through 5 full, still 1-1, the Lefties and the Dudes. Welcome back, everybody. We get ready for the top of the 6th. Kai Kamado, after setting down the Dudes quietly coming out of the bullpen in the 5th, he'll face the top of the order. Cedric Gator will get things started. I do have some potential information on one John Whitehead, who won the competition earlier in the game. He'll be the leadoff hitter for the Lefties tomorrow. At least according to, so curveball misses just high. Our public address announcer thinks he has some information coming from the grapevine on him. Like his family is friends with his family, 2-0 the count. So according to the rumor mill, he was a Division I baseball player. There's a chance, I cannot guarantee this, there's a chance that he was drafted at one point into the big leagues, as that one's fouled off the knob of the bat. He is allegedly playing beer league softball at the moment. So I'm going to assume that he is a capable hitter. Low 3-1. So this could be really interesting. I think it would be the most entertaining thing if he's one of those guys who could still really swing the bat, but then running to first could be tough. That one's through the hole in the right side for a hit. And again, I am going off of basically third-hand information. And considering I was not able to see the game just with my angle or anyone who was able to take part in it, so I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know if he looks athletic. I don't know how old he might be. But there's a good chance. I mean, if you win a competition like that, you can definitely throw the ball. As Hagen Bowen fouls the first pitch back 0-1. The lefties will set up to turn 2. I look forward to this. I would really love, too, if John's able to get on base, just so we can run the bases. And then whoever's pitching for the dudes needs to throw over like 3 times in a row. And then Whitehead needs to try and steal second. Oh, they almost had Gator picked off. Yeah, they had Cedric in between steps right there. Well, now he inches back out. Here's the 0-1 from Kamada. Hit foul at the plate, 0-2. Well, the friendly race continues between Cole Acker, lefty's reliever, going to get the foul balls, and people on the dudes. Throw over the first. It gets through Rose. It goes off the base coach and over towards the lefty's dugout. And they're saying the ball went out of play. Might have gone down those stairs right there. So up to second goes Gatter. Looks like he's not going to be awarded third. I would think he would be. Because with a ball going out of play, you're supposed to be awarded an extra base on top of what you're already going to get. Well, the lefties will take it. An error on Kamada on the throw. Well, actually, we'll see how it's scored. That's on the outside corner for a called strike 3. So Bowen goes down looking. Third strikeout already for Kamada.
Now batting number 32, Declan Brown.
Let's see, what did that go down as? And so it's going down as an error for Rose. As that one gets through Ott. Up to third goes Gatter on the wild pitch. A little surprised to see that one get through Halen. Doesn't seem like he was crossed up. That's a tough error on Barrett. Here's the 1-0. Low 2-0. So the lefties will opt to play the middle infield back. The corners are even with the bags. Rose at first and Alsop at third. That one's hit square off the back of Declan Brown. A fastball 2 from Kai. I mean, just based on his reaction, you could tell it wasn't intentional.
Now batting number 50, Nick.
That brings up Prater. He lined out sharply to Alsop at third his last time up. Alsop made a heck of an athletic play just to rob him of extra bases. So now the lefties will set up to turn 2 in the middle. Rose will hold Brown at first. A short lead for him. Another throw over. Whoa, that one nearly got away from Rose. Had to reach across his body for that. A lot of throw-overs from Kai, and some of them have not looked comfortable. And there goes the run from first. Pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate. In and out of the glove of Ott. So Brown, who had a huge jump, will have to go back to first. This is interesting to see. We've seen the dudes get pretty aggressive on the bases, but their guys just don't take any leads. But then they get to second base, and then they take some really aggressive leads. And there goes Brown again. The pitch is taken upstairs. Throw down to second. It's cut off by Tamura, and the throw to the plate goes off the glove of Ott and ended up skipping in there. So up to third on the throw will go Brown. Now the lefty's starting to get sloppy this inning. That's going to be the second error we've seen. That one's going to go on Tamura. So a stolen base, a double steal at that. Stolen base for Brown and a stolen base for Gatter. Then an error on the throw from Tamura to allow Brown to get up to third. So now 2-1 dudes, 1 out. Declan Brown at third. Here's the 1-1 coming in. That one's ripped out to left field. It's down the line, and that's going to drop foul. Well, Prater's going to have to jog his way back to the plate. He's laughing at himself. Just a little out in front of that one. He was already around the first base bag. So 1-2 the count. Kamada looking to pick up a strikeout. Another non-league game for the lefties, resting some regulars. Choi dealing with some leg soreness. Nunez with the shoulder, as that one's on the outside corner for a called strike 3. Already the 4th punch out for Kai. Making his debut on the mound for Port Angeles.
Now batting number 34, Indy Anderson.
I was able to talk to B.Y. Choi a little bit earlier today, just about possibility of getting drafted. Now, Evan Bates seemed to think he might go as early as the 4th to the 8th round, which is a pleasant surprise to me, but I'd be all for it. On the outside corner to Anderson, 0-1. Indy's 0-2 today. Choi did take batting practice today, and, well, he broke his bat while taking BP. On the ground slowly to the second baseman, Royce, in time at first. So that'll end the inning. The Dudes are able to take a 2-1 lead. Taking advantage of some nifty base running and some sloppy play from Port Angeles. The errors are continuing for the lefties. 2-1 Dudes as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Well, I'll come back a bit early again, everybody, because I was just getting ready to talk about Choi breaking his bat during batting practice earlier. Hiro Tokiwa will come back out for his second inning on the mound. Able to work a pretty clean 5th. He'll face the bottom of the order, Rose, Ott, and Royce Tamura. Also some interesting shenanigans. So we have a few guys, just in general, a lot of guys sore, general baseball soreness, dealing with some nagging things. So our head medical official, Maisie Zahn, led the team through a ballet warm-up. Yes, you heard me right. A ballet warm-up. Now, it's very beneficial, but, I mean, you know, it's a pretty funny and unusual thing to see a bunch of grown, manly baseball players doing ballet stuff. Well, let's see, some of the highlights. So, Wes Penninger and Nelson Smith. Well, that one hit right off the elbow of Rose. The home plate umpire is saying, stay right here. Rose has some words for him. It did kind of look like Barrett stuck his elbow out to try and take it intentionally. And the home plate umpire made the call right away. On a slow breaking ball. So Wes and Nelson were my favorite trolls of the whole thing with the ballet stuff. You know, they were those typical give the teacher a mild hard time while in the classroom. On the outside corner, 1-1 with a breaking ball. Lefty on lefty matchup. Cam Custer embraced being the guy to tell everyone to shut their mouths while the teacher was talking. I mean, it's impossible, though, to not get a good laugh at the whole thing. The guys were having fun with it. That fastball just outside. So 2-1 the count. Brock Mayer and Colby Schuber were probably the two most graceful guys I could see. Some good flexibility, and they were looking pretty comfortable. That one's nubbed in front of the plate. Hero off the mound to get it. He'll softly toss it over to first. Also, a frustrating at bat will end for Rose.
Number 30,
So they'll bring up Halen Ott. 0 for 2 today. And Maisie had them doing some pretty advanced-looking things, or at least one of Maisie's assistants, Korea, was telling me that some of the movements were pretty advanced. I wouldn't know anything about it, as Ott takes a strike. Let's see. She was saying things like movements or phrases like plié, relevé, sous, pirouette. I know pirouette. In the dirt, 1-1. Now, she was saying them and having them do those movements. I made sure to have Korea, who actually knows what these terms are, write them in my phone. So I may not be pronouncing these correctly. That one's ripped out to left. On the run is Grunwald. That's going to get past him and go to the fence. Ott will dig his way in the second. He's in there standing up with a one-out double. Well, how about that, Mr. Halen? That was a good-looking swing. Second hit in the Lefties uniform.
Now batting from Casuna's River Community College, number 4.
That'll bring up Royce Tamura. Hit by a pitch in the second, bounced out to the pitcher in the fourth. Now, the thing is, I probably would have benefited from actually participating in the ballet, but I had to observe so I can tell you guys all about it. It was funny seeing some of the really big guys do it too, like Garrett Holpuck, Wes, of course, as that misses low. Nelson ended up showing up on the later side. Time is called. We're going to have a meeting on the mound. The entire infield will come in. Cannot tell if there's any action in the Dudes bullpen. Nobody's up for the Lefties. The wind continues to blow like crazy going out to left. 2-1 Dudes over Port Angeles. Ott at second with one out with a double. And a 1-0 count to Tamura. I mean, that ballet stuff is very beneficial. I mean, I'm somebody who I do yoga here and there. Goodness, I do need to stretch more. Running 50, 60 miles a week, I'm not stretching enough. You sit a lot when you're in this chair during a game or even when I'm just prepping for the game. Yeah, I should stretch more. I need to do that. Even after my runs, especially without being on a team anymore, I go, okay. I'd rather just lay down than actually do my stretching. So the meeting concludes, a 1-0 count to Tamura. The corner infield looks like the Dudes are anticipating a bunt. Everybody's playing in. Tamura does not square, and he takes a curveball low. So a dangerous situation now for Hiro Tokiwa, his second inning out of the bullpen. You have Becker waiting on deck. 2-0 slide step. Outside 3-0. Oh, it's a non-league game. I think Matt's going to give Royce the green light. Especially, why are the Dudes playing him so shallow in the infield? There's so much room to shoot one through. Well, he takes low. It's a 4-pitch walk. So first and second for the Lefties as the leadoff man comes back up.
Number 8, Kyle Becker.
So Becker walked and scored in the first, 0 for 2 overall. And a lefty-on-lefty matchup. So the shortstop, Gatter, is playing way over towards second base. Everybody's still playing way in. That curveball is a called strike. It gets away from Brown, not far enough for anyone to advance. Pitcher's pitch right there. So Anderson at first and Hansen at third are playing at about the grass. Well, Hansen maybe is a step behind the lip of the grass. So that one's in the air. Left center. Gromol is playing towards the line, but he's able to get back over to get it and make the catch. Now 2 away. So far, previous 2 lefty hitters not able to take advantage of the infield positioning. So it's left to Kim. Hit the ball hard a couple times last night. He's 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch in the first. The command from pitching on both sides has been better since the early going. That one's fouled off of Kim as the ball shoots up the first base line. And look, even with regulars like Nunez and Choi out for rest, still want to see the lefties able to cash in these spots. It is a much different lineup, though, without Roberto Nunez in there. The league leader in total hits coming into play tonight in the West Coast League. He's been on fire all summer. There goes the runners, and Kim pops it up. Short center. Bowen says he has it. He comes trotting in, and he's able to make the catch. So the lefties once again leave more men in scoring position, not able to get that timely hit. Through 6 full, it's 2-1 Dudes over Port Angeles. Well, we wear on to the top of the 7th, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 Dudes over the lefties. Reed Brock, Alex Hartnett, Tanner Hansen will be the hitters. As Brock takes high, Kai Kamada will get back to work for his 3rd inning out of the bullpen, allowing the go-ahead run back in the 6th. Low 2-0. So the final line scores for Ryan Blake: 4 innings, an earned run on 2 hits, 3 walks, and 3 hit batters. 4 more wild pitches for Dudes pitching, as that one's fouled at the plate, 2-1. And on the other end, the guy that the Dudes gave us, Casson Matson, 4 innings for him in the start, an earned run on 3 hits. No walks, no hit batters, 2 strikeouts. Well, one of the Dudes guys had pretty good command. Well, I should be nicer. They gave us some arms so the lefties could rest some pitchers. Low 3-1 the count. And at least at the moment, it hasn't disturbed the pace of the game too much. Moving at a reasonable clip. Here's the 3-1 from Kai out of the windup, and that hit Brock. This is just odd with some of the timing. The amount of times where I've said, oh, command from pitchers has been pretty good, and then a batter gets hit. Or, hey, this hitter's struggling at the plate, then he hits a ball hard. It's happened more than enough times for it to be noticeable. I swear, I need to just not say anything when opposition is doing something at the plate. Alex Hartnett is 0 for 2 tonight. He swings the first pitch and foul tips it into the glove of Ott. So Kamada now trying to work around another base runner. Already allowed a run back in the 6th. The lefties look to turn 2. Check swing outside. Looked like a changeup. A moment ago, the flags were back at full tilt. They've calmed down a little bit. You can still see the leaves going crazy on the trees. Low 2-1. Nobody up in the Lefties bullpen. This is Kamada's inning. The lights are on. The shadows very much a factor between the mound and home plate. The entire batter circle now covered in shadow. 3-1 the count to Hartnett. Or Michael Scott, according to Point Streak. The 3-1, fouled straight back. Our public address announcer says he really shrewded that one. I think I like our public address announcer. He's got good commentary. Short lead at first from Brock. Here's the 3-2. That one's ripped off the glove of the diving Rose. It kicks in the foul territory. Toss over the first. Safe at first base. The ball got away from Kamada, who was trying to cover. Well, a really good effort from Rose, diving to try and get that ball. It was right towards the first base bag. It hit off his glove, went towards the first base coach's box. So that's going to be a base hit for Hartnett. So first and second, nobody out. It brings up Tanner Hansen. Fifth hit of the night for the Dudes. We'll see how Redmond plays this. You have the eighth batter coming up. Tanner's 0 for 2. Wonder if we'll see a bunt. Well, Alsop is in right near the grass at third just in case. And he does show bunt. And he gets it down. It's hard back to the pitcher. Throw over to third is in time. Good athletic play from Kai Kamada. Plenty of time to get Brock at third. 1-5 on that putout. And a really poor sacrifice bunt. I mean, Hansen initially did a good job showing it early, but you really have to angle the bat with that. You want the third baseman to come get it when you're trying to get a man over the third, and he bunted it so hard, clearly back to the pitcher, that Alsop had an easy time getting back to third. The Lefties will take it. On the outside corner to Mason Gronwald. 1 for 2 with a single back in the third. I would not expect to see a bunt here. In the dirt. Good play by Ott. That was one heck of an athletic stab. That might have been a 56-foot breaking ball way outside, and he slid right over into the left-handed box to grab it on the in-between hop. Here's the 1-1. Bounce towards the hole, and it's going to get past Alsop and into left field. Rounding third is Hartnett. He's coming around. The throw of the play on the fly. Safe at home. A strong throw from Custer coming in from left. A little bit up the first base line, and a good slide from Hartnett, just getting his foot in underneath the tag of Ott. So 3-1 Dudes. RBI single for Grunwald. He's now 2 for 3. Tanner Hansen remaining at second. So a couple balls not hit particularly hard, finding holes. The Dudes hitting around Kamada just a little bit. So Cedric Gatter, 1 for 3 with a single, and the run scores last one. That one's looped in the right. That's going to get in there for a hit. Stopping at third will be Hansen as the throw comes in. It gets away from Ott, but backed up by Kamada. Not much room back there, so not enough room for anyone to advance. So the third hit of the inning, the bases are loaded with 1 out. Dangerous, dangerous situation for the Lefties. Still doesn't look like anyone's up in the lefty bullpen. So the middle will look to turn 2. The second baseman, Tamura, still playing way over for the righty to pull. That one's looped. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Right on the lip of the outfield grass. Throw over to third is not in time to hit off the glove of Alsop. A bloop base hit for Hagen Bowen with the corner infielders drawn in. Nothing Alsop could have done on that one. And with the shortstop Kim playing for a double play ball, I mean, he didn't have any chance either. Boy, the ball is bouncing the dude's way right now. 4-1. As we're going to get a meeting on the mound, here comes Evan Bates. So he's walking out there. Now we see somebody getting up and throwing in the lefty bullpen. Just with our angle, I can't tell who that is. Looks like a big guy, though. Definitely a big guy. And right now, it's just Bates out there. It's just Bates out there. Odd is also out there. Looks like it might actually be Garrett Holpuck who's getting up and throwing. He hasn't pitched the past few days. He had a long outing in the second game of the series against the Apple Sox. He'll have to serve a 1-game suspension for the Lefties' next West Coast League game, that coming Tuesday up in Victoria against the Harbor Cats. But with his non-league action, that suspension will not apply as of right now, so he's more than welcome to pitch today or tomorrow. Well, the meeting concludes. Declan Brown doubled back in the fourth, so he takes a strike. Hit by a pitch his last appearance, so 1 for 2 for him. The Lefties need to get out of this jam. Another base that would make things really tough, as that one is trickled foul. Oh, somebody there made a pretty athletic play from the dudes on that foul ball. Took it away from the coach. Well, let's see who that was. I was able to see his number. Where are you? 31. I don't see a 31. As that one's looped foul down the right field line. Oh, there we are. Oh, that was Nick Banez. Banez getting the night off after getting a couple hits last night. A couple big ones in the 6-run seventh inning. Plating 2. 0-2, a little inside. I don't think Brown was anticipating that fastball. Looked like he was pretty surprised. Here's the 1-2. Slow curveball way upstairs. Kamada comes set. Nowhere to put him. Bases loaded, 1 out. His 2-2 tries another curveball. It's upstairs again. So Kai in a world of trouble. 4-1 dudes. Here's the 3-2 coming in. Fastball off the hands and hit foul. Well, I know it's not terribly cold, but that one must have hurt. Cole Acker's doing a good job getting those foul balls. I always appreciate the hustle from our relievers with the nights off going to get the foul balls. It takes character. 3-2, way upstairs. That'll force in a run. Gronwald will cross the plate. It's now 5-1 dudes. And Redmond has batted around. It'll be Indy Anderson, the 9th man to hit this inning. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Bounced out to second his last at bat. I beg your pardon. That's Nick Prater coming to the plate. He swings to the first pitch and hits it foul. So Brown at first, Bowen at second, and Gatter on third. Swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. So 3 runs have already scored in the 7th. Kind of looking familiar to last night with 6 runs coming across for the dudes. That one's lined foul over the head of the first base coach. Well, the wind continues to blow from left to right. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Lifted foul. This one over the grandstands down the right field line. Boy, what a beautiful evening, though, even with the wind. No snow left at the top of the foothills for Olympic National Park in right. 0-2 in the dirt. Good play by Ott. That was another short curveball that bounced in. Five to 1 Dudes, still threatening for more. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Kai. That one's in the air to center. It's not deep. Becker got a late start on it. He comes in. He makes the grab. Gather will tag. The throw's coming in on a couple hops. In time at the plate. Strong throw from Kyle Becker to gun down Cedric Gather. Wasn't sure with the ball hitting the mound if it was going to kick away at all. Ended up actually accelerating the ball as it came in. So another web gem from the Lefties outfield. It ends the jam. 3 runs do come across for the Dudes. They take a 5-1 lead, but it could have been a whole lot worse thanks to Kyle Becker. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th, see if the Lefties can get some offense together. Well, let's take me out to the ball game. Just finished up playing at Civic Field. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Chase Taylor, Cam Custer, and Owen Alsop will hit. Hiro Tokiwa will get back to work, his 3rd inning out of the pen. And I was talking a little bit earlier about just some of the guys for the Dudes coming from Anchorage, Alaska. And my pig racing boss has told me a lot about attending the Midnight Summer Series. Game starting about 10:30 at night, an annual tradition. Ending usually about 1:30, and the sun just staying up the entire night. Just, of course, that's how Alaska works. All sorts of perspective coming from a man who grew up in Alaska. And starting the All-Alaskan Racing Pigs 36 years ago. Goodness, the fair world and the pig racing world is something else. Oh, I've got stories to tell about that. My favorite one is at a big event in Northern California in Wheatland. I was halfway through doing the show, and I had some random gentleman end up handing me a lost child and go, I have a lost child. Here, this is yours. And I continued the script for 3 minutes while trying to babysit the child, as Chase Taylor will take a first pitch curveball outside, 1-0 the count. So I go 3 more minutes with the child. Going through the script. There wasn't any races going on at this point of the show. Every show goes about 23 minutes. 2-0 the count, that fastball outside. And then my 2 stagehands end up coming around to set up some other stuff. And they go, what in the world is going on? So I pull my mic to the side, and I go to one of them, hey, take this child with you and take him to a security guard. 2-1 the count, that fastball catching the corner. And then so that situation resolved itself. And then the whole time I just thought to myself, why would you hand me the child and not a security guard? A 2-1 curveball, and Tokiwa gets the called strike. Taylor not a big fan of that one. He thought it was high. The Lefties have not done much offensively. Only 3 hits. As Taylor goes down swinging. The first strikeout for Tokiwa coming out of the bullpen. Well, the throw back to him gets away into right. So that brings up Cam. Sacrifice fly in the first, a single in the third. Also reached on an error in the 5th. I mean, I would think a security guard would look a lot more official than me wearing a cowboy hat and a shirt that says "When Pigs Fly" and Rustler jeans. Fouled back 0-1. Good chance I'll be back in Wheatland, California from September through Halloween again, doing the pig racing. I love the pig racing. I love baseball and the pig racing. Downstairs, 1-1. Yeah, my first event came at the end of my last year's summer season at the Orange County Fair. Now that is a big one, everybody. And that's one that gets 80,000 people coming each day. It lasts a month. 1 and 2 the count to Cam. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. The Dudes lead the Lefties 5-1 in Game 2 of this non-league series, as Hero steps off. First show is in front of 2,000 people, just roaring and hooting and hollering about the Pigs. Line drive off the leg of Tokiwa, kicks by the third base bag, and it's going to be an infield hit for Custer. He did hit that pretty hard. Tokiwa looks to be all right, though. We're going to get a meeting on the mound just to make sure he's fine. Yeah, he's shaking his head. Yeah, he's saying he's good to go. Well, it looks like they're going to have him stand on the mound. Wonder if they'll have him throw it any pitches at all. Yeah, trying to mimic his delivery. Yep, says he's okay. Well, that's good to see. Hard to tell exactly how hard Cam hit that ball. Public address announcer says they should put in Michael Scott to pitch. Well, Alex Hartnett, I think he's pretty comfortable and right. It'll be Owen Alsop now. He swung at the first pitch all 3 at bats, and he's popped out all 3 times. Getting 3 hits, including a 3-run bomb a night ago, as Custer draws a throw as he goes back in standing up. Goodness, you get all sorts of characters, too, at fairs and at the pig racing events. Alsop swings at the first pitch again, and he comes up empty. So 0-1 the count. 1 out and Custer at first. Something we do for each show. We get adult volunteers to help to be the starters. That one's ripped foul down the third base line. Someone to be the starter and someone to be the finish line judge. And we pick this big hulking Raiders fan to be our starter. You have to pull a pin up and then pull a lever. Yeah, pull a lever out to open the gates. 4 pigs in each race. There goes Custer. The pitch taken outside. The throw down to second is not in time. It kicks off the glove of Brock. Second stolen base of the night for Cam, his 6th of the season. 1 and 2 the count to Alsop. And, oh, God bless this guy, this Raiders fan. He just got way too excited for his own good. You have to pull the pin out first, but he would try to do it all at the same time, and then he jammed our gate every time. As that ball's ripped in the center, it's going to drop in there for a base hit. Custer's going to be waved home. The throw to the plate on the fly, and Custer's safe on the headfirst slide. That's good to see from Alsop. He goes to second on the throw. RBI single for him. And this 4th run batted in the last 2 games. Finally, the Lefties' first hit tonight with a runner in scoring position. They've had all sorts of chances. So now 5-2, still only 1 out. And it brings up Mayer. 0 for 2 with a walk back in the first. Yeah, we have 4 races each show, and that Raiders fan just 3 of those times just jammed our fence up. We were able to fix it every time, but it's inconvenient. Low 1-0. So I might have to think twice the next time I pick somebody with an Oakland Raiders jersey on. Sorry about that, guys. Now 1-0, taken on the outside corner, 1-1. Here's the 1-1, a slide step in the dirt, 2-1. Brown able to keep it around him. So the Dudes outfield playing about straight up. So a base hit, well, Alsop doesn't run all that well. A base hit should score him, though. A 2-1 curveball's in there for a strike. Steady dose of breaking balls from Hiro Tokiwa. You have the right fielder Hartnett playing way off the line and right. And then the center fielder Bowen towards the left center alleyway. As that one's in the air to the left. Watch out for the wind. Gronwald backs up. He has it lined up, and he makes the grab. Brock just got underneath that one a little. It looked like he had the breaking ball timed up.
From the University of Missouri at St. Louis, number 20, Barrett Rose.
And that brings up Barrett Rose. 0 for 2 with a walk back in the third. The first pitch of his last at bat, he got hit right in his elbow guard, but the home plate umpire called him back, saying he reached his elbow out to intentionally let it hit him, which I would have to agree with the umpire on that one. First pitch curveball in there for a strike. Again, that's one of those you got to recognize as a lefty hitter because we've seen that a lot from Tokiwa. Good lead at second from Alsup. That one's back towards the middle on one hop. Off the glove of Brock at second. He's going to have to hustle. Rose will be safe at first. Up to third goes Alsup. And that's going to keep the inning alive.
From Whitman College, number 30, Halen Ott.
So the third error. Okay, well, it was put down as a base hit initially. That is definitely going to have to be changed. So first and third with 2 outs. As much as I love a little bit of home cooking, now that was about as, other than the ball going underneath the guy's legs, that's as much of an error as you'll ever see. Just outside, 1-0 the count to Ott, who doubled his last time up. So Halen represents the tying run with 2 outs in the 7th. Lefties trail 5-2. Curveball low again. The 9th man, Tamura, waits on deck. And will Halen get a fastball? Here's the 2-0. Rose started then stopped, and it's taken upstairs. So Ott did get a fastball. Will he get a green light? I have a feeling he will. The second baseman, Brock, playing nearly on top of the second base bag. Well, it's a curveball, a 3-0 curveball. I don't think Tokiwa wanted any part of Ott. So that'll load the bases with 2 outs. And it'll be Royce Tamura. Well, he came up last night in the 7th in somewhat of a similar situation with the lefties trailing 10-9. He was able to chop a ball back up the middle, reach on the infield hit, and that ended up tying the game at 10. And we'll see Tamura now bat from the right side with the lefty Tokiwa out there. Low 1-0. Now, according to Royce, the left side is his natural side. First time we're seeing him bat right-handed in a lefty's uniform. The infield playing straight up. The outfield extremely shallow. Fastball outside 2-0. Brown wanted it. This is one of those spots where you divide the plate in half, you zone one up, and if you get it, you let it rip. Slide step from Tokiwa, and he gets the called strike on that heater. 2-1 the count. Becker waiting on deck. Nowhere to put Royce. Here's the 2-1 curveball way upstairs. Hero did not have a good feel of it that time.
Let's hear it, Lefties fans.
So will Royce get a fastball? Tokiwa has really fallen in love with the curve. Yes, he does go with a curve. My goodness, 3-2. I cannot believe that. Well, now you could expect anything. The runners will be off. 3-2. The base is loaded. The lefties trail by 3 in the 7th. Tokiwa comes set. Here's his 3-2. Fouled straight back. Put a little extra on a fastball that time. A run has already scored this inning. You have Alsup at third, who drove in Custer. Barrett Rose at second, who reached on an error. Ott at first. Here's the 3-2 again. Fastball hit foul by the Dudes dugout. It was a close pitch. The shadows now fully set in between the mound and home plate. Tokiwa quickly comes set again. The 3-2. Curveball just barely inside. Hiro Tokiwa already started jogging off the mound. The catcher, is exasperated over the call. That was close. That is close to take if you're Tamura. It forces in a run. It's now 5-3 Dudes. I mean, that could have gone either way. It really could have. So that brings up Kyle Becker. The lefties, of course, will gladly take it. Becker looking for his first hit in the lefties uniform. He's 0 for 4 and takes a curveball outside. Tokiwa wanted that one. Not pleased with the home plate umpire. Well, he comes set. Base is still loaded with 2 outs. A hit would likely tie it. That breaking ball is on the inside corner. Becker not happy with the call. He thought it looped the plate. Everybody straight up. The left fielder Gronwald playing shallow. The wind not going quite as much. Swung on and missed. Fastball tied him up. The lefties have scored 2 this inning. 1-2 the count. Tokiwa comes set. That pitch inside. Hero started jogging off the mound again. That one missed by a good amount, though. It almost hit Becker. Looked like he almost tried to keep his arm out there to let that ball hit him. Here's the 2-2 again. Hit foul towards the left field parking lot. Some good at-bats put up from these lefties hitters, fouling off some tough pitches, especially Tamura. Pitches adding up for Hiro Tokiwa. Here's the 2-2 again. Lined into left field. That's going to get in there for a base hit. Ott is being waved home. The throw to the plate is cut off. Halenot slides in safely. Kyle Becker, his first hit in a lefties uniform. He's delivered and tied the game in the 7th inning. 5-5, the lefties and the Dudes. What a big time at bat, a big time swing from Kyle Becker. First hit, first 2 RBIs for the lefties, just getting into town yesterday. And boy, how big is that error early in the inning on Reed Brock. And of course, the walk to Tamura on a close pitch. MJ Kim takes a curveball for a strike, the 9th man to come to the plate for the lefties. Goodness, how eerily familiar is this? Last night, both teams batted around in the 7th, putting up a bunch of runs, low 1-1. The same thing tonight. I mean, as of right now, the scale of total runs is not quite the same, but pretty similar looking picture. Pretty darn similar. The runners go. The pitch taken for a strike to Kim. The throw goes to third, and safe is the call at third. Royce took a chance right there. He is quick, though. Good aggressive base running. Oh, now we have an argument over at third. A Dudes coach came out and looked like he was about to get tossed, but then he eventually stopped the talking. I don't know if that was about the call at third or more frustration over the non-strike call at home plate. 1-2 the count to Kim. Here's the pitch. That ball's hit hard into left, but right at Mason Gronwald. He had Kim played perfectly. So that finally retires the side. But 4 runs come in to score for the lefties. They've tied the game at 5. And the big blow, Kyle Becker with a 2-run single to tie it. His first hit and first RBIs as a lefty. To the 8th inning we go. Garrett Holpuck will take over on the mound. Welcome back, everybody. 5-5 is our score. Garrett Holpuck will take over on the mound. The Lefties, exciting fashion, putting up 4 runs a moment ago to tie it. 0-1 the count. That pitch called a strike. So last inning, the Dude sent 8 men to the plate, excuse me. The Lefties follow, sending 9. 1-1 the count. The 12th game that Garrett's pitched in this season, 4.95 ERA, 16 in the 3rd innings, 12 strikeouts, 7 walks. Trying to keep it right where it's at. On the outside corner, 1-2 the count. Indy Anderson, the only guy to not bat last inning. 0 for 3 tonight, bounced out to second his last time up. Here's the 1-2 from Holpuck out of the stretch. Off the hands towards the hole on the left side. Alsop cuts it off. Strong throw to first. And it's in time. Nifty play from Owen Alsop, ranging far to his left to make the first out. The Lefties have been much better defensively tonight. I know they have put up a couple errors, but they have been pretty good. That brings up Reed Brock. Hit by a pitch his last time in the 7th. He also walked in the 5th. The tall 6'6" right-hander Garrett Holpuck. Soft bouncer over the 3rd. It's going to be a fair ball, and it's off the glove of Alsop as it goes behind him. Kim will go and back up the play. But also the 3rd error of the night for the Lefties. After a really good play from Alsop, not able to make that one. It would have been a tough play either way. The ball was hit slowly. Alsop had to charge it. Might have taken an awkward hop on him at the last moment. So it'll be Alex Hartnett. He walked and scored one of the 3 runs back in the 7th. Swung on and missed. A challenge fastball from Holpuck. The last time Garrett pitched was Wednesday night. Ended up getting ejected at the end of his outing, along with Brandon Ponce of the Apple Sox. Outside 1-1 the count. So Garrett rested the past few nights, and he'll serve a 1-game suspension on Tuesday night when the Lefties head to Victoria, getting back to West Coast League action. All sorts of room on the right side. And that one gets away from Ott. It kicked up to the top of the screen and comes back down. So up to second goes Brock on the wild pitch. So with 1 out, it puts the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Dudes. With first base open, you have Tanner Hansen waiting on deck. Working against the bottom of the order. High 3-1. Well, you definitely don't want to give him anything too good. The outfield shallow all the way around. Here's the 3-1. Big swing and a miss. A challenge fastball from Holpuck. Custer in left playing shallow and over towards the line. Becker in center over towards the alleyway in left center. Mayer straight up and right. The 3-2. Another swing and a miss. Garrett Holpuck able to come back and strike out Alex Hartnett. 2 away in the 8th. Brock remains at second. So it's left to Hansen. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the 7th. Eventually came around to score. 0 for 3 overall. Holpuck on the far right-hand side, or the far third base side of the rubber. Off the hands, a cue shot. The second base Tamura gets it. Garrett better get over there. He does. Good job from Holpuck to go over the first to cover. So 4-1 on the play. That'll retire the side. A good clean inning from Holpuck. Able to work around an error. The Dudes leave 1. So we head to the bottom of the 8th, everybody. A tie score at 5. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting late here at Civic Field. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Chase Taylor, Cam Custer, and Owen Alsop will bat. Hiro Tokiwa, the Dudes are sending him back out there for his 4th inning. After allowing 5 runs to come across. 1-0 the count. Taylor struck out to start the 7th. And he lines that one down the left field line. That's going to be in for a fair ball. Chase takes a big turn around first. He'll put the brakes on. A leadoff single for the Lefties, and the go-ahead run is aboard.
From the Osho County Community College, number 1, Cam Custer.
And now it'll be Custer. He singled with 1 out to get things started. Oh, there's Acker in the third base coach's box relaying some signs. Will we see a bunt from Cam? I know it would be kind of odd to see it from the cleanup hitter. Good lead at first from Chase. The curveball's inside. Cam does not square. A lot of breaking balls. Steady diet of those from Hiro Tokiwa. Could be, Taylor could pick a good pitch to run on. Way outside 2-0. Snap throw to first, and Taylor goes back in standing up. Good hitters count for Custer. 2-0, Taylor at first. That curveball down and in 3-0. I think Acker is going to green light Cam. The Dudes will look to turn 2. A lot of room in the right center field alleyway. The 3-0. Oh, at the knees. I think everyone in the stadium thought that was low. Cam certainly did. 3-1. I thought that was low too. So Tokiwa comes set. Here's the 3-1 now. Curveball bounced foul by the Dudes' dugout. Well, we'll see if Taylor takes off. He's a good athlete, and Cam does make a lot of contact. Tons of room on the right side of the infield. A good lead from Chase. Here's the 3-2. Chase does not go. That ball's ripped into center. Bowen goes back on it, but he's able to hang with it and make the catch. Oh, Cam got some good wood on that ball, but allowed out.
From West Texas A&M University, number 39, Owen.
Well, and that brings up Owen. Owen Alsop had an RBI single to open the scoring back in the 7th, the first of those 4 runs. Back-to-back nights, both teams putting up monstrous 7 innings. And here we sit, tied at 5 this time. Alsop takes a curveball outside. The Dudes once again look to turn 2. Slide step, fouled back. I really do wonder if we'll see Taylor take off. Tokiwa is pretty quick to the plate, varying the slide step and the short leg kick. A throw over to first. Well, so his move to first looks nothing like his actual delivery. First time we've seen a throw over of that variety. Well, Hero comes set again. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. The Dudes not playing very deep in the outfield. If I were Gromwald and left, I'd be moving back. There goes Taylor. Well, he stopped. The pitch is in the air to center. It's not deep. Bowen doesn't have to move all that much. He makes the catch. So Alsop is now 1 for 4.
From Chaffey College.
So it's left to Brock Mayer.
Brock Mayer.
He walked back in the first. 0 for 3 overall. I would say Taylor really needs to try and get a jump here. Anything to get himself into scoring position. First pitch curveball, a little outside. I mean, at this point, again, if you're a lefty's right-handed batter, you got to sell out on that pitch away. Steady diet of curveballs to that part of the plate. 1-1 fastball off the hands, up the third base line. Hanson was playing deep. He gloves it, throws over the first. In time. That was a nice play over there. Looked like Mayer had a bit of a tough time getting out of the box. So the lefties able to get a leadoff man aboard, not able to do anything with it. We remain deadlocked at 5 through 8. Holpuck will get back to work for the top of the 9th. The top of the 9th inning incoming. Mason Gronwald, Cedric Gatter, and Hagen Bowen. Garrett Holpuck will pitch his 2nd inning coming out of the bullpen. Only needed to face 4 batters back in the 8th to work a scoreless frame. Well, similar territory as to last night. Coming in top. Well, that ball's hit deep to left. Back goes Custer at the wall, and that ball is long gone. A massive, titanic home run from the 9th man, Mason Gromwald. Boy, that was one heck of a shot. He got it way up in the air, and that ball cleared the fence by just a large margin. I'm surprised Custer even ventured back on that one. So Gromwald is fired up. It's now 6-5 in favor of the Dudes. And that's one heck of a home run celebration right there. Also, similar to last night, the Lefties came into the 9th in a tie game, and the Dudes last night were able to put a run on the board. They have at this moment. So now it's Cedric Gather. Geez, talk about ambushing a guy on a high fastball, too. That one misses high, 1-0. Cedric singled his last time up in the 7th. 2 for 4 tonight. Nobody up in the Lefties bullpen. This will be Garrett's game to finish off. 2-0 the count. It'll be the bottom of the order coming up for the Lefties. Rose, Ott, and Tamora for the bottom of the 9th. That one's ripped into left center. Becker coming on. He's going to have to play it on the hop. Back-to-back hits for the Dudes. Now they have a man aboard with nobody out. 3rd hit of the night for Gather. It brings up Hagen Bowen. He's 2 for 4, an RBI single for him back in the 7th. Man, that was a long home run from Grunwald. Talk about knowing what was coming. That one's on the hole towards the left side. Diving stop Kim, but it kicks off his glove, and everyone's going to be safe. 3rd consecutive hit for the Dudes, 1st and 2nd with nobody out. A good effort from Kim. At most, he would have only had a chance to get the out at 2nd. So it brings up Declan Brown. He doubled back in the 2nd. 1 for 2 tonight. Hit by a pitch and a walk in his last 2 appearances. Curveball. Outside. Close. Holpuck comes set. He checks the runner once at 2nd. Swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Just barely a touch of sunlight remains at the top of the foothills for Olympic National Park in right field. That truly is a spectacle of a sight. The 1-1 is hit hard out to short. Kim up with it over the 2nd for 1. Back to 1st in time. Nice 6-4-3 double play. Good job from Kim to get it started. Up to 3rd goes Gather. Well, that's definitely helpful. The Lefties trying to escape this inning, only allowing the 1 run. Can't tell if anyone's up and throwing for the Dudes. I would assume that Tokiwa is going to come back out for a 5th inning. First pitch is taken low. 1-0 the count to Prater. Low again, 2-0. Prater again, 2 for 6 last night with a double. He's hit the ball hard once tonight, 0 for 4 though. Also a couple punch-outs, as that one's lifted foul and out of play down the right field line. You have a couple bases open and Indy Anderson waiting on deck. Pick your poison, 2 guys who are 0 for 4 tonight. The 2-1. That one's looped. Behind first base, Rose is able to make the catch. So Holpuck at least able to bounce back, work around a couple base runners. Only allowing the 1, but the damage has been done. Mason Gronwald ambushes Holpuck. with a long solo home run out to left. 6-5 Dudes over the Lefties. We head to the last of the ninth. New pitcher coming in for the Dudes, and the bottom of the order coming up for Port Angeles. The last chance coming up for the Lefties. They trail by 1 going to the bottom of the ninth, everybody. Very similar situation to last night. The Dudes putting a run up to untie the game in the top half of the ninth. It's a new pitcher for the Dudes. Skylar Manelski will take over. He's not listed on point streak at all in the Dudes roster, so all I can tell you is he's a tall, lanky right-hander with a major sidearm delivery. Ball 1 to Rose as he shows bunt and pulls back. Yep, tried my best. Can't find anything on Manelski. Submarine delivery. Drops down just about as low as you can go. 2-0 the count. Rose reached on an error by the second baseman Brock his last time. Came around to score 1 of 4 runs in the 7th to tie the game for the Lefties. That 2-0 is ripped into left field. That's going to drop for a hit. A good swing from Barrett Rose. He's now 1 for 5. The tying run is on base. We're going to get a pinch hitter, everybody. Chance Dottie will come up. He'll bat in the 8th spot in place of the catcher, Halen Ott.
Pitch hitting for Ott from Redmond College.
So we get a meeting between Acker and Chance. So you wonder if a bunt's going to be on, or at least something extracurricular. Well, as the meeting concludes, Chance will come back to the plate. Well, now we'll see Manelski work exclusively out of the stretch. Wonder how his delivery will change it all. He still drops down. Chance shows bunt. He pulls it back and takes a strike. Wonder if he'll lay down a bunt again or try to. Get the tying run into scoring position. Chance shows bunt. The pitch is bunted foul at the plate. So Dowdy now behind 0-2. And you have Tamura waiting on deck. As Dowdy steps out, home plate umpire also stepped out from behind his spot. The outfield not playing deep. Dowdy's going to swing away. The pitch is hit foul down the right field line. A late swing. Good life on the fastball from Manelski. Oh, 0-2 the count. Rose at first. The lefties trailing by 1. Hit foul again. Couple pretty good swings from Dowdy, just a bit late. Chance has doubled for the lefties. Oh, you'd love to see him get one into the alleyway. The 0-2 way outside. It gets away from Brown. Up to second goes Barrett Rose. Just as good as a sacrifice bunt. Boy, that's one heck of a break. So now 1-2 the count to Doughty. Rose does run well, but all three outfielders for the Dudes are pretty shallow. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Way inside, and that gets Doughty right on the knee. A big-time break for the Lefties. Two of them at that. The winning run is now at first. Well, now that brings up Tamura. I would think we're going to see a sacrifice bunt. Doughty was initially trying to get the bunt down. He ended up falling behind 0-2, pulled it back, fouled a couple tough pitches off, and then he got hit. Not before a wild pitch also got Rose to second. The tying run at second in Rose. The winning run at first in Doughty. Tamura squares. The first pitch is bunted over the first. Anderson picks up. He goes to third, and he's able to get Rose at third. Not a bad bunt by any means, but the Dudes were anticipating it, so everybody charged hard on it, so it ended up being a pretty easy play getting Rose at third. 3-5 on that putout. Doughty up to second. Tamura, who runs well, is at first. Good speed all the way around for the Lefties. So it's Becker. Last time up, a 2-run single tied the game at 5. That one's at hard, out to short. Gather up with it, goes to second. Dug out of the ground by Brock to throw the first nowhere near in time. Wow, that was a great play from Reed Brock. A short hop throw from the shortstop Gather. They get the middle runner. So Becker on with a fielder's choice, 4-6 to get Tamura at second. And Doughty at third. Wow, if that ball got away from Brock, oh, the Lefties would have been running for days. And we're going to get another pinch hitter. Ethan Young grabs a bat, and he's going to hit. See if Ethan can get into one. The tying run at third base. And frankly, if you're the Dudes, you got to be careful you don't bounce the pitch. Swung on and missed. Young went 0 for 2 last night. He was able to pick up a key RBI. So 0-1 the count. Outside 1-1. Manelski working quickly. The infielders playing straight up. Lefties trailing at 6-5 to the Dudes, trying to avoid back-to-back losses. 1-1, way outside, 2-1. And there goes Tamura. No throw down to second, so the winning run is now in scoring position. Excuse me, that's Becker. So Doughty at third. Kyle Becker at second. A hit will likely win it. The 2-1 to Young. On the inside corner, 2-2. Ethan not a big fan of that call. Young coming off the bench, trying to be the hero tonight. Manelski has his sign. Here's the 2-2. On the inside corner for a called strike 3. Young has some words for the home plate umpire. So that'll end the game. The Lefties are able to get the tying and the winning runs in scoring position. Not able to push it across. They lose back-to-back games to the Redmond Dudes to open up this weekend series. The difference maker coming on in the top of the 9th inning, a leadoff home run from Mason Gronwald deep over the left field wall. Back-to-back one-run losses for the Lefties. We'll be back at it tomorrow, everybody. 1:35, first pitch, as the Lefties take on the Redmond Dudes. The final matchup of this 3-game set before the Lefties hit the road. And the one, Mr. John Whitehead, will be the leadoff hitter for the Lefties tomorrow after winning an in-game competition earlier today. So lots going on at the ballpark, you guys. We'll be right back tomorrow on the West Coast League app, as well as the local Peninsula Public Access Station. I'm Evan Schmeiser. Griff McClellan's my live stream director. Matt Acker's the owner of the Lefties. Have a great rest of your evening.